In ancient times, in a distant land in the heart of the valley of Elah, a battle would be etched in the memory of centuries. On one side, the army of Israel was intimidated and trembling, and on the other, the Philistines were confident with their invincible giant Goliath. Every day, Goliath, with his booming voice and imposing presence, challenged the Israelites, filling them with fear and despair. Among the Israelite soldiers was a young shepherd named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers, often forgotten and underestimated by his own family. While his older brothers prepared for war and dreamed of glory, David spent his days in the fields tending the sheep, isolated and alone. No one saw in him the possible hero who would change the destiny of his people. One morning, Jesse, David's father, sent him to the camp with provisions for his brothers. Upon arriving, David saw the fear in the eyes of the soldiers, and heard Goliath's challenge. He felt a mixture of indignation and courage rise within him. How could this giant defy the God of Israel and get away with it? Without hesitation, David offered to confront Goliath. The soldiers and his brothers laughed. How could a small, untrained shepherd boy defeat the giant? Desperate, King Saul accepted David's offer, even though he offered him his armor with skepticism. But David was confident in his faith and natural abilities, and he rejected the armor. He armed himself only with his sling and pebbles from the brook, and approached the battlefield. The atmosphere was tense, the wind seemed to hold its breath, the birds fell silent, and the soldiers watched with heavy hearts. When Goliath saw David, he laughed scornfully. But David was not afraid. His faith was unshakable. He remembered the times he had spent protecting his sheep from lions and bears, and how God had always been by his side. "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin," David said in a firm voice, "but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." With surprising calm, David took action. He placed the stone in his sling, and with divine precision the stone flew through the air and embedded itself in Goliath's forehead. The giant fell to the ground with a crash, and the silence was broken by a shout of astonishment and victory. The impossible became possible. The army of Israel, inspired by David's bravery and faith, went to battle and defeated the Philistines. David, the underestimated shepherd boy, became the hero of his people. Power lies not in appearance or physical strength, but in faith, bravery, and trust in something greater than ourselves. David showed that no matter how small our voice may seem, with faith and courage we can bring down the giants that stand in our way. This story is for you. You are not here by chance, and if you doubt that in your mind, remember how many times you have overcome obstacles that seemed impossible, how many times you have solved problems that seemed unsolvable. Remember the bear. Remember the lion. People look at you and underestimate you. They don't believe you would kill a giant, but what they don't know is that you kill one every day. There is something great in you. You have a pure heart. You have the soul of a warrior, and that will lead you to great things. Stand up and challenge. Stand up and reach the world. If I am worthy of your like the video and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comment, and send this video to someone who needs to hear this story today.